Let's hear from you about how you started in wholesaling.
So real estate was not even close to what my adult job was. I was a scientist. I was an epidemiologist working for the county, and then I worked, so we have a medical background in common. And then much like on, I quit before I even did a deal. So I would recommend don't do that. But the thing is, I had a savings that I knew I was going to quit. I took the Rich Dad Poor Dad training. And so I moved over to Kaiser, and I was in my little cubicle, and I was like, I'm not going to decorate this cubicle because here I am leaving. So people would come by and it's like, it's so sad in here. I put little plants. How did you decorate? And I was thinking, I'm leaving at the end of the year. So every single penny I could sock away, I put it away into the savings. And at that time, the savings, they were paying 5%. At that time, not anymore.
Long time ago.
So I socked everything away, and I was learning how to do real estate. And then at that time, my grandpa got sick, it was like in October. So I started in January. In October, he got sick and had to come live with us. So I was like, well, I have some money. I'll save up and I'll take care of my grandpa and start the business. So I jumped, feet in, feet first. And I haven't looked back, and I've been totally unemployable since then. So I quit October and got everything settled with the business with my grandpa. And in January, I made 3 offers. I went in St. Louis. Somebody actually came to the women's club, and she was talking about St. Louis. She gave us resources, and she had a whole slide of here's the people you call in St. Louis to make an offer. So I'm like, all right. So the next day I called and made an offer. I made 3 offers. She called me up and she said, hey, all 3 got accepted. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, what do I do here? So I called a hard money lender, like the way she said, call a hard money lender. So I called a hard money lender and I said, I have 3 properties. Can you go see which ones, give me a loan on them? Went to see him, came back and said, you know what, actually I have somebody who wants to buy them from you. He wanted those properties, but you got them first. And so he said, so he give him a call. So he called me, he's like, so I'll pay you $2,000 for each contract, for the 2 of the houses. And I was like, $2,000, but I was going to do a cash out refi. That didn't work. Right when the market crashed, 2008, I was thinking cash out refi. And so what happens, I said, no, I'm going to do that. No, $2,000, no way. So he called me back the next day. What if I give you $10,000 for each contract? And then I'm like, Then he had to think twice. And I said, sure. So he took 2 houses. I kept one. I still have it right now. And so I made $20,000. And I put like less than 2 hours into the whole thing, and I made $20,000. And I was like, oh wow. So after everything closed, and he actually walked me through it, like how do I transfer my contract to him? And so after I had the money in the bank, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that was way, way too easy. So I was like, I didn't touch that money, because I'm like, what if they want it back? Leaving it there, I'm not touching it. So I was like, okay. So after about 3 months, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm in the clear. Go do something. So I didn't know, but that was called wholesaling. So I was like, oh, this is wholesaling, So I started researching it and just talking to people, going to investor clubs and meeting different people and seeing. I'm like, okay, well, what do buyers want? So this guy, he wanted this property because he liked it, and he said, you know what? I've been waiting for this property, and you snagged it. So I was like, wow. So the thing is, I gotta move fast. And so in this business, you gotta just move on with your learning, what you're doing, and you don't stay on the sideline. You just gotta take action. So I got really good at finding deals. I was wholesaling here in California, wholesaling in St. Louis from California. So you can wholesale for anywhere. And then on your computer, you just got to get a good team together. And that's what I do. And so I just been doing that, and then I started doing some rehabs. And people are like, oh no, you're going to get all the best deals now. You're not going to wholesale those. I'm like, no. So I started doing some rehabs, So I had one that we made like $200,000 on. That was a fluke, by the way. And then the next house, I lost like $18,000. So you do have your ups and downs, but it balances out at the end. And so I actually love wholesale. So now, like I said, I'm applying it to commercial real estate. And we're closing on one this month that I found through a network. I found it, and I got it under contract, and then I gave it to a developer.
Let's hear from one more. Paige, can you tell us how you found your real estate niche after doing so many variety of things?
Yes. My story is a little different. I became a real estate investor by accident. I was thrown into the deep end knowing nothing about real estate or real estate investing when a family member passed away. We had a very large portfolio of property, commercial and also single-family residences that were deeply, deeply in debt. So I went out to Arizona, again knowing nothing about real estate or real estate investing, and I just surrounded myself with people and asked lots of questions. I found out very quickly, we had 38 townhome units, I found out very, very quickly I am not a good property manager. At all. And the reason I'm not is because I have a very big heart and everybody's got a story. So keep in mind that while buy and holds are great and please be kind to your tenants, also understand this is your business, okay? I didn't know that at first. Then I found out quickly. So, fast forward, I realized that we couldn't sustain the rents that we needed to command to be able to be profitable, and so we started selling the units. And I realized very, very quickly, because my family was involved, that I was selling myself out of a job. And I thought, I kind of like this thing though. And so we had a little bit of land, and I decided, okay, I'm going to develop the land. Again, I had zip in knowledge about construction, about development, nothing. But I just jumped in and surrounded myself and asked lots of questions. And I realized that all the contractors thought I was very cute and they were taking advantage. So I said, I'm going to start my own construction company. And I did. And we had 36 employees. We had all of our commercial licenses, all of our licenses except for roofing and HVAC, and the reason that we didn't is because they were too expensive in the insurance. We were rocking and rolling. I was young, I was single, I was hot. And I was rich. And then 2007 happened. And it took me, I was very lucky because I didn't have encumbrances, right? I was only encumbered about 10%. I had a lot of assets, and I was able to fire sale everything. And at the end of the day, it took me 3 years. I paid everybody back. I did not file bankruptcy. And at the end of 3 years, I lost $20 million. That tends to shape you as an investor, right? But I'm here. And it actually was a blessing. A lot of people, for a long time, I considered that to be a failure. But it really was something that I learned from, because it shapes who and what you are going to do. I am blessed that that happened to me. I came back home to California. I was in Arizona away from my family. I met my wonderful husband, and we're back in real estate. He looked at me one day and he said, Paige, what are you doing? We need to be back in real estate because that's where your passion is. So we came back into real estate, fixing and flipping and doing the construction company. When I was doing that, I was working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it almost put me in a grave. So when we came back and were doing fixing and flippings, I loved it, but I was having flashbacks, right? So I was kind of fumbling my way around, and I found notes. Here's why I love notes. Because I'm not tied to a location. I do not have to rely on anybody for the outcome of my profit at all. I can do it across the country, I can be international, I can do this business from anywhere in the world, as long as I have a phone and an internet connection, okay? I always tell people, define what your what is. Everybody says, what's your why? That's very personal, everybody. What's your what? Do you need monthly cash flow? Do you need chunks of money? Do you need both? Because notes for me gives me all of that, and I also have a very flexible exit strategy. I've got 23 different exit strategies available to me. So no matter what happens, if we buy the note well, it works out beautifully. But define what your what is, because your what is going to give you your focus. If you need monthly cash flow, fix and flip is not necessarily the medium you should choose. You need chunks of money, fix and flip is where you should go. So define your what. That experience shaped me as an investor, and that's why I landed in notes, and I am just so happy.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to move on and find out where some of these women get their deals. So, Terry, why don't you start us out and let us know where are you guys getting your storage unit deals?
So now, I don't hear it. There we go. So now that we've been doing this business for several years, our deals come to us primarily from brokers. So there are real estate brokers that specifically are in the business of storage and only storage, and they specialize in this. And many times, just like on the fix and flip side or the single family side, you have pocket listings where, and what a pocket listing is, if you don't know, it's when a realtor has a listing and before they put it out on the MLS for the public to see, it's in their pocket and they'll maybe pass it to an investor that they've worked with before, that they know have purchased, that they're serious about doing the business, and they'll hand it to them. Well, that's what we have now in our storage. So we just, we have a deal in escrow right now that a broker came to us and said, look, this fits your criteria. We've worked with him before. He knows we can close and he knows we're serious about doing the business. So that's how we get our deals now. What I'll share with you though is, okay, what do you do when you're just getting started? Because it's a luxury to be in this position of having the brokers bring you deals and having them be good ones. When we got started, it was, well, we were fortunate enough to start working with our partner, Al, who has been in the business for a few years. So we had a little bit of a head start just by partnering with him. So that actually is a really good suggestion if you're just getting started. Look for a partner that maybe has the experience or the skill set that's complementary to you to get started. Specifically for storage, what has worked is by going online and Googling storage Los Angeles and see what comes up. And don't look at the deals that fall on the very first page, because those properties are getting very good search engine optimization and people are looking for, people see those deals. Go to like the 8th page, 9th page, 10th page, because nobody sees those deals. So they're probably not getting tenants to come to them, and they're not getting anybody else coming to make them offers. So they might be a struggling owner and be ready to change up their strategy. And a lot of times, it's so funny because if you look specifically at the storage business, historically there was a big boom in the 70s and 80s. And a lot of these are mom and pop run businesses, meaning that it's, mom or pop that is sitting behind the desk managing the property. Well, they've been doing this since the 70s or 80s, and now they're older, they're aging. Sometimes they die and they pass it on to the kids. Kids don't want anything to do with the business. Or they're still struggling. And one of the things that we're seeing is they're advertising in the yellow pages. And that's it. There is no online presence, and we've actually seen these deals, and they wonder why the tenants aren't coming to them anymore, because they put in that yellow page ad, every month, they pay their yearly subscription for it, and no one's coming. So obviously, if anybody has ever dealt with storage, you go online, right? You search storage, you search your community name. And so by just something very simple like that, we can actually we can buy that property and add value to it and get it up performing again. So a couple of key ways, like with single families, another way that you can find property is also by sending out mailers, by just getting on the phone and calling and trying to find that person that is just tired. But the internet strategy really is a good one for getting started.
Thank you so much. And I love the nugget of partnering with somebody who has experience. Did you guys all catch that? That's how I did my first flip. And that's how you learn, right? Go farther, faster. Partner with somebody who knows how to do it. That's wonderful. Dawn, I'd love to hear how you get your deals.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Can you kill me later, because I think I'm going to die anyway?